A $10 million support package for the Syrian opposition fighting against the regime of President Assad has been approved by the US. Support for the rebels has now cost America more than $115 million. But as RT's Ghana C.A.I.R explains, Washington willingly pays out for political gain.
Opposition leaders in many countries have sought and received Washington's backing, but U.S. support often comes at a price. Counting on money and arms from Washington and its allies, Syria's opposition coalition has elected a U.S. citizen, Hassan Hito, to be the leader of an interim government.
We ourselves have to take action. We must take action.
The Syrian-born IT executive from Texas, Mr. Hito, may have Washington's blessing to form a new government in Syria. But even anti-Assad voices inside the country say instead of uniting Syrians, the American leader in Syria will sow even more division.
Killing its own people.
In order for Mr. Hito to build a team with which he could have mutual understanding, he needs to find these people abroad. It means that these people will have no idea what life is like here. Before the election, I didn't even know his name. Well, this whole election of the government and the Prime Minister was simply chimerical.
For the U.S., the benefits of having a government that owes its power to Washington can be considerable. That is the case with the current Libyan government.
They owe the current regime mostly to the United States, and the United States will be seeking and are cashing that check very effectively for their own interest. In terms of the strategic geographical importance of Libya, United States and West Europe have that. In terms of the unfettered access to the hydrocarbon resources of Libya against the resource nationalism of Gaddafi's government, they have that.
For years, the U.S. has supported the opposition in another oil-rich country, Venezuela, in the hope that it would replace the late Hugo Chavez. U.S.-educated Enrique Capriles would be Washington's perfect choice.
In the budget, the State Department's budget for 2013, there was a paragraph included that specifically said monies for these Venezuelan political groups that are aligned with the opposition or that form the opposition of more than $3 million. Right-wing government under someone like Enrique Capriles in Venezuela would help the U.S. regain its influence and dominance in the region.
It's not uncommon for Washington to host prominent opposition figures. The declared theme is U.S. support for human rights. But some note, throughout the history of Washington's dealings with the opposition in different countries, there was another common theme.
It's my experience after studying many thousands of U.S. diplomatic cables that the United States makes a priority gaining influence and contacts and informants within opposition movements, partly in order to corrupt them, partly in order to have bets on both the lead horse and the second, in case there's a transition of power.
Having said all that, it's not all oppressed opposition figures that Washington welcomes. For example, the U.S. is not going out of its way to free opposition figures in Bahrain who were sentenced to life in prison for taking part in protests against the government there. Bahrain hosts the U.S. Fifth Fleet in the Persian Gulf. So Washington has been quite selective as far as whose opposition it supports. In Washington, I'm Ghana C.A.I.R.